Hi guys, welcome to the Stretch Links podcast. I'm Nicholas.
I'm Joel.
And this is episode 3. Okay, so today we're going to start with a short little story. Okay? I want you to close your eyes and listen to this now. You walk into a store trying to buy a watch. It costs $379 and it's made of plastic, run by a quartz movement. Not only that, this watch has also some notorious issues for its color fading and bleeding onto your skin. Next thing you know, the shop personnel tells you that it's not available in stock, and you have to wait indefinitely for this watch to come in stock. And that is basically the Moonswatch saga summarized in less than 30 seconds.
Oh, that's pretty rough.
So Gerald, what's your opinion on this little Moonswatch thing?
Yeah, initially when I messaged Nick about the watch, right, when I first heard of it, I didn't really care about, Omega and Swatch are collaborating, or wow, this is such a good move for the watch industry. Because to me, I didn't really care about it at that point of time. So to me, I was just critiquing the design. So purely based on the design standpoint, I hated it at first, because I hated how Omega and Swatch made use of how Swatch makes their chronograph and the design of their chronograph, which is placing the sub dials at like a triangle, occupying the whole space of the dial, rather than the original Speedmaster, which is at the bottom half of the dial. Yeah, I really hated how it looked, and the colors also didn't really appeal to me that much. Although right now it's slightly more, I can slightly tolerate it a little bit more. And my favorite colorway is the Mission to Jupiter, because again of my obsession of orange hands.
So will you get it?
No, I wouldn't get it, because I wouldn't get an original Speedmaster as well if I could, because it's just too big for my wrist.
Then the reduced?
If I can find a reduced,
at a good price,
if I can find a reduced that looks exactly like the original, because usually reduced doesn't look exactly like the original one.
I'm pretty sure there is though.
Unless you find a vintage one. Yeah. If you're talking about new models, then I don't think you can find a reduced one. Yeah.
Wait, we just go on a tangent for a while.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, do you prefer the Speedmaster or the Breitling Navitimer?
Oh, easy. I prefer the Navitimer. You know why? Because of what I said in the video, so I prefer contrasting dials when it comes to chronographs. To me, it's not only about the pushers. Although, from afar you might not be able to see the pushers, right? So, but what you can see is the contrasting dials, and then that's how you know it's a chronograph. So to me, it's a rather superficial reason to me. Yeah. So, but that's how I view a chronograph. Yeah.
For me, I think the Navitimer, right, got this more gritty look to it.
Looks more like a tool watch.
Yeah. It's like it will fit perfectly in Top Gun. Yeah.
That's if you watched it.
I watched it though.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Then, but for the Speedmaster, it's more. It's in the name lah. It's more professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just looks more.
And it's just more iconic also Yeah.
Okay lah.
You talk about it. Nobody knows about Breitling, right? Like you talk about the general public, more people know about the Speedmaster because it went to the moon, right? Yeah. But for the Breitling, it was used in space also, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. That's why it's called a Navitimer, right?
I don't know.
Navigational timer.
Talking about the Speedmaster, right? One fun fact. Actually, the Speedmaster is known as the Moonwatch, right?
Yeah.
Speedmaster. But actually, there's a Bulova that also went onto the moon also.
Yeah, lunar pilot, right?
I'm not too sure, but there's also a Bulova, yeah. Because the pilot brought a spare watch with him. Then the watch was a Bulova. So it's pretty funny, yeah. Then I think they capitalize on it, So the Bulova is like the unofficial Moonwatch. Yeah. Then talking about moon and all that shit also, there's also this one brand, Strabansky, right? It's known as Space Watch, the first watch in space, worn by Yuri Gagarin. Then for Omega will be the moon, which is something that people often mix up. Then they call the Omega like the space watch or what, but actually it's not. It's just the moon watch. Yeah, but back to topic. Moonswatch.
Yeah, so you want to share a bit more about your experience? Because you went, right?
Yeah. Okay, so It's legit damn stupid because I went there to queue at like 11 p.m. the night before. Then the queue was like basically the security guards didn't allow us to queue. Then we were kicked out of the mall, and we were told to come back in at like 6 p.m. 6 a.m. in the morning lah. I queued overnight lah, by the way. Then at 5 a.m. we saw like a few people from the back of the queue started walking forward. Then we were like, what? Like, can we go in already? So then we just follow lah, right? We follow. We went in, and then we saw that there's another group of people over there. Then we were shocked lah, right? Cause we thought we were the only one there, what? But then it turns out, right, is the security guard sat at the store. So then anyone who came to the store after like 11 p.m. they were told to wait outside the mall at the front exit. So then the shop is here, right, for example lah. We're waiting at this right side area. Then the security guard direct them to outside the mall. So they're waiting on the left side area. So then at 5 a.m. The same thing happened to them. Someone at the back ran to the front. Then they all started following. So then you can imagine two crowds like converging in the store. Then they were told that that's the official queue, or like, that's the queue. Then we were told we cannot queue. You know what I mean? Then so there's a whole fuss like how come got no official queue? How come the security never like direct us or everything? Then it's just damn messy. Then I was in the official queue. Because there was like this like metal poles and all that, so I was queuing officially. Then there was this whole big crowd forming in front of the store. Then we thought to ourselves, right, that everyone in the line we're talking man. Then we thought like, surely no way they give the watches to people in front, correct? Because they're not queuing one, but we're the ones in the queue. So surely it's not from us. But they couldn't disperse the crowd because like the police was like, a lot of police came by the way. Then they were like, cat back. Then none of them want to move. Everyone just crowded there. So then I think I don't know whether it's like they got no choice or what, or they're just lazy to like settle the shit. Then they just end up serving the people who are in that like mosh pit. Everyone there referred to it as the mosh pit. Then the funny thing is my mom went to squeeze as well. Yeah, I went to squeeze all the way in as well. Then we managed to get one watch, right? Because at first they say it's 2 per person. Then we were planning to get one for her, one for me, then one for my girlfriend. But at the end of the day, we only got one because only she went into the mosh pit now. Then she managed to buy the watch. It's the Tiffany one, which what's it called? Your Anus. We should to Your Anus. Yeah. Then at first she wanted to keep the watch. Like she really liked it lah. But there's something she liked more than the watch. It's a Brompton bike. You know Brompton?
Yeah.
You know, right?
The foldable bike.
Yeah, it's the max there. What the heck?
Yeah.
It's like 2K plus, 3K plus almost. So she saw the resale value of the watch lah. Then it's insane. It's legit insane.
Yeah, of course.
So she just, I don't care, I just sell. So then I sold it lah, right? But I'm not a reseller by choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the circumstances were there. She thought she could have better use for the money, then she sold it. So we bought it at 379. We sold it at 1.2K.
Wow.
Not bad, yeah. I think I sold it at the correct time because it was at the peak. Like I think now you go and search, right, it's about 800 plus only. And the stupid thing is, when we were queuing in line, they told us it will be available online in a couple of weeks, so 1 or 2 weeks lah. But now the story has changed. Now they're telling us that it's not going to be available online. It will only be available in selected stores. So in Singapore, it's ION and MBS. And it's almost as if like they want to keep this like exclusivity, you know, like wow, Swatch has something that is like exclusive now. But it's just embarrassing honestly. Because so I heard actually Omega was kind of hesitant to do this collaboration at first. But because Swatch own Omega,
right.
So they have to follow right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for Omega.
Yeah.
Right, because it makes it accessible to the commoners.
Yeah.
People who can't afford or people who don't see the point in spending 8K to a watch. But then it's still Omega. It's still Omega's name on people's watch, on people's wrist. And then it still brings awareness to the brand and all that. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing this collaboration. How about you?
Yeah, I feel the same way now. I mean like what you said about the story, right? The collaboration itself is not a bad thing, and the release of the watch is not a bad thing, but how they manage the crowd, how they manage this whole saga, this whole situation is bad lah. I mean like is I mean I can't really vouch. I can't really say that I relate to people who kill them because I didn't kill them at all. But I would say,
even from you hearing the story,
I can empathize with those who are angry lah.
it's pain lah, it's pain.
Yeah, I can understand lah.
Because you literally waste like 10 hours of your time queuing there for nothing
Yeah.
Then they promise you that, no, okay, they so-called they promise that it'll be online in a couple of weeks. Then in the end they change the narrative again. You know what I mean? They did so many things wrong. First thing is they could have a proper crowd management, right? They could have liaised with either MBS or ION to allow us to queue in the mall. If not, they can assign certain people, their staff, right, to manage the queue outside the mall. Correct? That makes sense, right? That's the second thing they can do. Third thing is definitely have more quantity. Fourth thing is brief us on how many there is so that the queue will stop. Right? There's no more already. We only serving up here. You all can go home. Don't waste my time. Right? And then the last thing is, if you say it's gonna be online, then you better make it online. Don't say like what there's no more. And definitely they could have just given us like something, you know what I mean? Like given us maybe a code, right? A code so that if you go onto the online store, you'll be guaranteed a watch. And maybe not the one that you want now, but you'll be guaranteed a watch, a Moonswatch if you really wanted. There's so many things they can do and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Sort of defeats the purpose of even releasing this watch if you don't make it accessible online. As if it's very easy to get a Speedmaster in the first place. Like it's not what. Then you release this watch to make it more accessible, but now you're making it not accessible. So it's like you're going back. It's a double whammy. Yeah.
It's honestly it just sounds like Swatch borrowing Omega's name to become hype and become exclusive. That's all that it really is. And then they talk so much about it being bioceramic and what, but then in the end it's just like plastic.
It's defective also.
Yeah, and then but you know, I think even though I give you so much shit right, about the management and how bad of a collaboration this is and an effort from Swatch, I do think it's very nice. All the designs, all are. My favorite one is this, the Mars, and I think Pluto, and is this Mercury? This one, Mercury. This one, Mercury. Yeah, I think it's really nice. And because you know, even at the back of the watch, right, at the case where you have the battery, it's a planet, you know, it's a small little planet.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. Then you know, actually this for the Mars one, right, is homage to the Project Alaska. You got see before?
Whatever that is.
You don't know, man. So Alaska Omega. So it's basically
that's
it's cool, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
cool,
see before.
This one is basically like a heat shield or something like
So
for
cool,
the watch. Yeah. So then you see people the hands here is like the fat rocket ship hands because it's for legibility. Yeah, so then it's like a homage to that. Just like it's like if you're not a true watch shape then you wouldn't know.
I've seen the watch before.
Yeah, I was going to go for this. Then my mom wanted this. Then my girlfriend wanted this. The Pluto. So Pluto, Uranus and Mars. Yeah, my mom wanted Uranus.
Yeah, good. Would you say it's justifiable for the price? Just now, the previous episode we talked about price, right? So would you say it applies, the same logic applies to this plastic Omega watch? Because if you go by the same line of reasoning, right, it is worth the price, right?
No.
Because
I'm paying for the brand.
of the design.
No.
And the brand.
Okay, I guess. But
for $379.
Wait, 379? Then isn't it the same price as the Daniel Wellington? It is.
Oh, wait, 379 USD or SGD?
SGD.
Oh yeah. Then,
you see, classic Sheffield 379. Then
I mean, if you do it comparatively to Daniel Wellington, obviously it's both. But
yeah, but that's what I said is, it has to be comparative. I'm paying 379 for Omega.
Yeah.
Right. But I wouldn't buy it personally. If you give me the opportunity to buy it now, like some Omega representative come up and like, hey, we have this Mars. Would you want it for 379 right now? No, I wouldn't get it because I'd rather get something else. Yeah. So I think is all in the moment. So while I do think that 379 for Omega Speedmaster alternative is very worth, I personally would not buy it.
Okay.
You? No, right? You also
No,
buy.
yeah. But not because it's not justifiable. The price.
Justifiable,
but
right?
also is, for me, is just not my preference lah. Yeah.
I think it's justifiable lah, more than justifiable.
Yeah.
It's affordable even.
Yeah. But the strap is horrendous lah, right?
Actually not bad. Okay,
It's
you know
so
why?
bulky.
Okay, you know why? Because the strap is actually a Velcro strap. But okay, if you own what's it called? Moonwatch? What's it called?
Speedmaster.
Brain not working. But the Speedmaster, yeah. If you actually own a Speedmaster Professional, it comes in a huge case, right? There's a watch, there's a medallion, then there's something else. There's a lot of things. It comes with a little eyepiece, Omega, the strap changing tool, and then it comes with this thing. It's a Velcro strap, so exactly the same. But obviously it's not white lah, it's black, right? And then why they give that thing is because when they go to space, right, they have to wear the watch outside their astronaut suit. So then they cannot wear it normally, so they need the Velcro strap, wear the astronaut suit, put it over the astronaut suit. So that's why the Velcro strap is there. You know what I mean? So I think, in all fairness, it's super clever that they include the Velcro strap, that they include the homage to the Project Alaska, and it's like small little Easter eggs. You know what I mean? That if you don't know watch, you won't know. That's why when I see a lot of TikToks or like content bashing them, right? I paid 379 for this shit Velcro strap. Then it's like, you obviously don't know. You know what I mean? You just don't know. Because now that I tell you, right, do you think it's still shit?
Yes.
To me, no lah.
Because
to me, no. Because
it's not functional at all.
No, like, it's props to them. It's props to them because it's something that they could have not done. They not done, right? But they did it, and I think it's fair because it's homage to.
But would you say it's a gimmick?
No.
To cut costs.
No.
And pass it off as an excuse that this is what they used in the past.
No. I don't think it's lazy at all. If anything, I think it's research done well, it's homage done well, it's respectable, and I will wear it. I might not wear it on the exact strap, but I would appreciate having it there. It's good effort from Swatch. You know what I mean? It's good effort, and I love it lah. I love the strap especially. This is when people, I don't know lah. When a lot of people say like, the Velcro strap for what? Like, how come they give Velcro? Then if you don't know so much, just go and read because it's not that hard.
But at the end of the day, it's also about what matters to everyone when you buy a watch. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. That's why I say it's not good. But to you, it matters because you care about the significance of it.
It's like what you would look for in a watch, like specifically, right? Specificity. I don't know.
Specificity.
Specificity.
Specificity. Yes.
Yeah. So then what do you think is like if you were to break it down into categories, right? What is some things that people or us should look out for when considering to buy a watch?
So we actually thought this out. So firstly is price. I'll put it up here the different categories lah.
Okay.
Price, design. Don't mess it up. Price, design, horological significance. Horological meaning the study of the measurement of time. So it can be like the history about sundials, clocks.
And also like this strap, like for example, like this strap.
Yeah. Like what it meant in the past, what it was used for in the past for horology lah. Yeah, can be pocket watch and so on and so forth.
Wait, does horological significance mean like history, you know?
Yeah, it also means history, how it was used in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, and the movement of the watch, whether is it a good fit into the collection, like if you need a chronograph or you want a gold watch and whatever. Resale value, we're going to be out of brand and quality of materials. Yeah, so these are eight categories that for us we think about. We don't necessarily like study it like if you stumble across a watch, you write down a piece of paper like, okay, price this is no lah, but it's just something that you keep in mind when we are looking for a watch or we stumble across a watch.
But I think it's good. Nice. I think it's good. Like you know, cause when you go and buy a new phone, right, like especially iPhone, when you go to the store, when you click on the iPhone, right, there's this thing called like compare. So then you can put like for example the iPhone 13 versus the iPhone 13 Pro, like the stats side by side. Then you can see like the battery life and what's the difference.
Yeah.
So then when I did that, right, I noticed right actually the iPhone 13 Pro only got 2 hours more of battery life, I think, and then got one more camera, and that's it. You're paying 400 for the shit.
400
more for one camera.
And better battery life.
2 hours. And it's not saying Apple battery life is shit also, you know what I mean?
Oh
yeah. So that's why I think it's like it's good. It's a good way to compare two watches that you really want. But at the end of the day, watches is not something you buy with your mind. It's something you buy with your heart.
Right. It's a good way to put it.
Is that? I mean, that's for me lah.
Yeah, that's for us. Yeah.
So what would you say is your first? You rank.
So I ranked it already, right? For me, first, okay. For me, it really depends on where I'm at in life also. But if you're talking about now, right? Now it is design. Whether or not I stumble across a watch on like Instagram or Carousel, or if I'm already planning to buy a watch, right? Let's say right now in my collection, I don't have a chronograph and I don't have a gold watch, so I will go out and look at chronographs, right? And so for me, the first thing is design. It might sound very like superficial, but for me,
wouldn't the good fit into your collection be number one? Because if you got no chronograph and you're looking for a chronograph, then that will be number one.
Actually, I wanted to put it at number one also. Actually, why didn't I put it
number one?
Why didn't I put it number one?
Change.
No. I remember I had a reason for it, but okay, maybe maybe number one. Because for me it's like okay, I remember it. For me to buy a watch, right, doesn't necessarily mean that the only premise for that is if I'm looking for a watch. It can also mean that if I stumble across a watch on Instagram or Carousel, I might buy it, even though it might not be what I need in the collection.
Okay, but here's a scenario for you. You're looking for a chronograph, okay? But you stumble across this diver that's very, very nice. The price is about the same. Which one will you go for?
Wait, have I already found a chronograph or not?
You're looking for a chrono, you found it already. You found the chrono.
So I haven't found the chronograph. I found the chronograph already, and I also found a diver.
You're looking for the chrono, you found the diver first. Wow, this diver damn nice. Then after you found the diver, you considering the diver already, you found the chrono that fits the exact same price, but your chrono is prefer the chrono after the diver.
I prefer the chrono.
Huh?
That's why the design is my number one.
Why?
Because it depends on whether like which one is nicer to me. But there cannot be a watch that is same exactly nice.
You compare the design but so it's not just so the chrono doesn't win because of
because it's like a good fit in my collection. Like I won't buy it if it's that comparison. I won't buy it just for the sake of I want a chrono. It's based on like which one is nicer. Like okay, like let's say I find a diver now, right? And also I found a chrono, but the chrono is like not really. But I'll still buy the diver. Okay, I will choose the diver or prefer the diver.
So design first, okay.
Yeah, design first. That's why. So the premise matters like the basis of why I'm buying a watch matters. Yeah. So that's for me number one Then.
My number one
yeah.
It's definitely just chronological significance And
yeah. See this is where we differ a lot.
Yeah. Because for me is okay. Let me think. I think design matters also. You know what I mean? Because if it means a lot, but there's no like a design that I like, then I wouldn't get it. Like for example, the Cartier Crush, right? Is significant, but I wouldn't get it because it's not nice,
Yeah. Okay, but this list is not to say that
it's not hard and firm It's not hard and firm.
Yeah, and this list is not to say like because you place it at the bottom, right? Means you don't care about it. It just means that every one of these things on this list matters to us. It's just a matter of which one we prioritize.
But at the end of this, you buy with the heart. So okay, I think
it's just a way to completize it
Okay, I think design number one.
Okay.
But I think my chronological significance is a very, very close second. Yeah, I mean, it has to be nice and it has not has to but I would prefer it if it has some significance.
Okay. So for me, secondly is price, because usually if let's say I'm trying to buy a watch now, I will already filter the price range that I cannot reach. But if you're talking about if I'm already a working adult and I have the ability to save money, then I might not put price at such a high list in the list. But for now, I would say price is very important, because if it's too expensive, right, I wouldn't even consider it, even though it's like the nicest watch ever.
But you can get it
in the future. But as of now, no lah. As of now, in the near future, no lah. But if you're talking about in the really long future, right, I also cannot say for sure, because there might be another watch in the future that will suit better, might be a better price, better design. You never know. So as of now, price will be second.
So I think I say my second is
horological
significance. Then I think third will be I think price same lah. Price matters a lot lah. But my reasoning is different from yours.
Yeah.
Because if I see a watch that I really like, for example, say it check design, horological significance check, both check already. No matter the price, I will still save up for that watch. That watch will always be the one on my list until I get it. Yeah. So in a sense, price doesn't matter so much to what I get, but I will consider whether it's worth when comparing to other things. So for example, like I say, the Longines, the Presence, the one right, 1270 versus normal Seiko diver, is to me is worth. So then the price just cancel out. Then I don't really care anymore. Yeah. But then obviously the Longines Presence, I don't know the horological significance. It's just designed to me lah. Yeah.
Okay, fourth is good fit into my collection. It has to be somewhere there lah. Actually, I really wanted to put it higher, but I realized there are some decisions that I make or I've made before that doesn't reflect that having a good fit will be my priority lah. Like for example, like my solar. Like even when I had my total already, I still wanted to buy the solar.
That's what I told you.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. That's right. Fifth is watch movement. Sixth is quality of material. Honestly, these two is like interchangeable, because honestly I really don't care. Like in the past maybe I'll put watch movement higher because of the stigma that I had. But now honestly it really doesn't matter lah. Quality of the materials also. I would say that if you are already considering brands like Seiko, Citizen, reliable brands, you can sort of assume that the quality of materials will be good also. And adequate. Unless you're going to specifics like, I want titanium, I want platinum, that kind. Then, but for me, no lah. For me, at this stage, at this price range that I'm looking at, not really. Doesn't really matter.
Then for the last two is resale value and okay. For me, I think like I said, it's design, then horological significance,
price,
and price. And I think everything else doesn't matter. To me,
same to me also.
Everything else doesn't matter because, like I say, it's hard over mine, man. So if I like it about, and then there's that, it has to have that like wow factor. I think there's something in a lot of watches that we look for. Like if it resonates with you, then it resonates with you. Like the one watch that really like spoke to me, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad decision now, but it's definitely the most not worth watch. Then I don't regret getting it. I love the watch. Not worth. Not say very special compared to a lot of other things, but it's special in its own way. You want to guess?
Mr. Musky.
Huh?
Mr. Musky?
No.
Oh, your King Fox?
No.
Your this watch?
No.
Huh?
The Kurono Tokyo.
You mentioned it.
The Kurono Tokyo. Your attach here is, I dare say, one of the most beautiful watches I've seen in my life.
I beg to differ.
But in my life lah. Because I really like salmon pink, right? And it's a handmade now, and it's using some superior Miyota movement, which is decent lah, but it's not the best. Right? So movement is shit. The material is stainless steel, but handmade down. So okay, it's not bad. Resale value, absolutely nothing. It's not, because it's a small little brand, right? fit into my collection, I don't give a dog's bollocks about that. Doesn't matter. As long as I can wear the watch, it will fit. Okay? Logical significance. I guess it's a sub-brand of a huge micro-brand.
Which is
Hajime Asaoka.
okay.
He's the designer behind the Chrono Tokyo. But his main brand is his name lah, Hajime Asaoka. He makes like all his watches handmade. So it's a micro brand, but it's super beautiful. But I think the Chrono one is it's like an entry level for his big brand.
But
So there's not much significance also. You know what I mean?
yeah, I wouldn't really. Would you really classify that as quality significance
for
or
me-
quality of materials? Because honestly, it's leaning towards more quality.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really have any.
But for me, the watch is just the design and the selection of the color and it being fully handmade. Even the case to the hands, to the dial, to the that's it. Yeah.
Okay, but then again, you didn't buy the watch, right?
Yeah, it's a gift, right?
Yeah, that's why if let's say in this scenario that it's you,
If
You
I
stumble
consider the
upon
price,
you-
I will buy. I will still buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will willingly fork out
$3,000.
$3,000 just to buy the watch.
okay, I think $3,000 is not a bad price at all, honestly.
It's 3 point something like that.
It's not bad lah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
So this is just like general
That's
tips
that.
for them to for you all to consider, like what matters if you
Yeah.
want to buy a watch.
I think for me it's definitely lesser of the heart as compared to Nick lah. There's still the heart of it, but definitely lesser. I think I put a little bit more like logical thought into it lah. In the sense that for me, having a good fit in my collection is quite is my premise for buying a watch instead of really stumbling across a nice watch lah. Yeah, more so than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that's why you got like a watch for every occasion.
yeah.
But for me, it's like
it's just
wherever, whenever, whatever.
yeah.
Everything,
Everywhere, all at once.
Shit, yeah. But I don't regret it, and I wouldn't change a single watch of my whole watch collecting journey. You mean I would have still sold whatever I sold. I would
Yeah.
still have bought whatever I bought. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember the time where I remember I had a fake Stavansky.
Oh yeah.
Remember I stumbled across this Instagram, like this Russian guy from Instagram, and then I saw this watch. I'll attach it above, but wow, it's so like beautiful, and it's like Stavansky.
It's a
It might be real, but at the time I
At the
was
time.
full the thing that is real, so it's not real. I chatted up the seller. I used Google Translate to translate my English into Russian, but turns out you could speak English, so yeah. Then I got it for like $130 something, which honestly is steal, but then again it's a fake watch. So
Not fake,
yeah, it's a Frankenstein watch.
Ah.
Frankenstein watch. It's like there are parts that might be original, there are parts might be aftermarket. So I managed to sell it for $200 plus on Carousel. I think the person who got it for me also got scammed.
Oh my god, you know what was the best part? After he sold it to the person, right? I went to chat with the person.
Yeah.
Then I tried to get it for like $80. I tried to get it back for $80. Then I told her that I think it's a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her that. Then she's like, huh, really? Then I said, take picture for me and then kiss back all that. Then she take. Then I thought, I think so. Then I thought, $80? Then she don't want 100. Then I don't want. Because I was never gonna buy it anyway, right? I mean, unless it's like really like damn cheap lah.
Okay, in all fairness, right, I'm pretty sure I did tell her that I'm not sure whether this is all original.
You did.
Yeah, I did tell her. Yeah, so yeah, and then she asked me to measure the accuracy also, and it was damn terrible. It was terrible. So like I don't know how she still bought it for me lah. So
You finesse, yeah, not really finesse.
yeah.
Okay, so now after giving, I guess, some tips on how to consider which watches to buy, and also how we prioritize what we like in watches.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's only fitting that if we give you some
Examples lah.
examples or some recommendations of watches that are okay. Let's just put the price tag at $379 Sing dollars. Right? Because that's the price of the Daniel Wellington and also the price of the Moonswatch. So give you some examples of watches that are below or at the exact same price point. So you can consider your alternatives.
Yeah. So okay, I don't have the exact model or the exact price because honestly I will encourage you guys to, or if you guys are slowly getting into watches, to explore for yourself. So we will give you like models or like umbrella terms or brands that you can use. So for me, right, when I first started on watches, the first thing I stumbled across was Seiko 5s. So Seiko 5s, I mean, you can look at the old models with the one with the shield, the one with the emblem, or you can look at the new models as well, the one with the new logo lah.
The Superman logo.
Yeah, Superman logo, yeah. So either or, you can't really go wrong. And so I would advise you to like go to Google, search Seiko 5s, and then you can see all the different designs for dress watches, for not really diverse, but what you call it, military design watch, pilot design watch, field watches, diver inspired watches. There are just so many like categories under the Seiko 5 catalog, which you can slowly browse through. Yeah, and it all costs around, I would say you can find most of them under $200.
As in the resale market lah.
In the resale market.
Yeah, but if retail, then it's
retail. I would say retail is also around
300 lah.
No, not 300, not even 300. No, that's for the new one, the new Seiko 5 Superman. But for the old Seiko 5s,
old Seiko 5 more already lah.
But you can find it on Carousel for new lah.
Oh yeah.
So those are watches that I first took interest in.
Yeah, I think Seiko is just overall very very solid brand. In-house movement, solid stainless steel materials.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of their Seiko 5 models has the see-through case back.
Yeah.
Right. Water resistance.
It's really a bang for your buck.
Yeah. To put it simply, it's just a steal, right? It's just a steal because I think if not for Seiko, right,
it'd be very hard to enter
into watches. Yeah. You at least have to pay like maybe $500-600 to enter
to get a first watch.
Yeah. And also a fun fact is it Orient, right? Orient is actually
a subsidiary brand of
Seiko. Yeah. So Orient is also another brand that's amazing at offering this entry level dive or dress watches.
I would say mainly diving watches. Yeah.
Oh, the Bambino also. Bambino is.
Oh yeah, Bambino. If you're looking for a dress
Maestro.
watch. Yeah, Maestro.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really find a Maestro very easily, but yeah. Basically, that's Seiko Orient.
Yeah, Japanese designed stainless steel watches. Yeah, that is very very solid.
Actually, I would say if like some of my friends they're looking for minimalist watches. Actually, I find it very hard to find minimalist watches that replicate Daniel Wellington in a Seiko 5 catalog. It's actually quite difficult to find.
Tissot?
Yeah, this is where like maybe Tissot can come into the picture.
And Timex.
Yeah, and Timex as well. Yeah. I would say Tissot, you must be prepared to pay at least like 379.
500 lah.
Yeah, 500
and less.
Yeah. But if you're willing to splurge on your first watch like Nick, who bought a $600 watch, Seiko Sumo, then go for it, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
he literally spent $600 on his first watch, and then the next watch he pulls up with is a $3,000 Tudor. So I mean, if you're a baller like him, then
Tudor is my second watch, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Second watch that you bought lah. Yeah.
Okay, but if let's say if I were to go back and reverse time and like say get my first watch in under $400 lah. Let me think. I don't know, sir. I'll probably settle with like a polo job, like a vintage polo.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's your first watch?
No, it's my first watch. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we have this classmate, right? That he bought his first watch, by the way. He just went on Carousel. Then he found this polo job.
Russian vintage watch.
Yeah. For like $100. He just bought it.
It's a bold move lah, to buy a first watch is a vintage watch.
Yeah, but
honestly,
it's character and it's beautiful.
It's class.
It's class, yeah. So cannot complain. But I think I will wear this now, probably. One of these, not like polo.
Yeah. See, this is where we differ again. I will never do that. Even up to now, I've never bought a vintage watch, except for the
yeah.
Swarovski, which is not. Yeah.
But as of now, right, I looking at a lot of the like Omega Pi pens.
Constellation.
Yeah.
Constellation.
Or like Tudor Prince date, all that. Like,
Oh yeah, the Tudor Prince date is.
Yeah.
Like just look at it, man.
Yeah. So I like vintage watches a lot in general. But back to
affordable watches. Another, I mean, you can consider Casio. I would say if you're not looking at like analog watches, like one with the second hand, mini hand. If you're looking at digital watches, right? I actually bought Casio A168. Yeah, one up here. And honestly, you know the watch, right? My Casio, the one with the metal bracelet. Yeah, I mean, from afar, right, it looks like amazing to me, and it's a respectable watch within the watch community. Yeah, and you can really pull off the look. You can wear it with anything, honestly. Yeah, it's basically a F91W, which I think most people know as an army watch, but on a metal bracelet. Yeah, with better lume as well. Yeah, I think Casio also. I think if you're just looking at it from a price point perspective, you can't really go wrong with any Casio. A G-Shock, G-Shock. Yeah, you can find a G-Shock under 379. Yeah. Honestly.
But that's the thing, I think the point we're trying to drive across is whether you get a G-Shock, right, that is chunky, that is quartz, rather than you get a Daniel Wellington, because G-Shock has its own
significance also, quality significance, character. So you can last you a lifetime
in the watch world, yeah. But even though it's not a conventional looking watch, right? But honestly, I think for like $400 and below, it's really hard to get into proper automatic watches unless you're going for Seiko, Orient, Citizen. These three brands is the one that you want to look for mainly because if not, it's quite hard to find. It's really quite hard to find affordable watches under that price range.
Yeah.
If not, you have to do it like those micro brands, like what, like not really micro I mean like the more known names.
And I think don't think that you are losing out if you are getting a Seiko 5, because it's not as common as you think, Like, I mean, I've seen it around, but honestly, I've seen more Daniel Wellingtons around. So just because you buy a Seiko 5 and there are lots of it, right, doesn't mean that you are losing out in a sense. Because the Seiko 5 in itself, in its own right, is well respected.
Yeah.
And it's totally worth your money, honestly. If you're able to find a Seiko 5 design that you really like.
And generally for like getting into entry level watches, right, is personally I recommend get into vintage or get into used watches or get into older watches with no boxes or what. If you're okay with that, you'll get the most value out of it. That's to me.
Used watches.
Yeah. Because any of these categories is like basically a lot of watches don't hold their value. Right? Like for example, say this Seiko Turtle that Joa is wearing retails at,
I don't even know.
I forgot already. I think it's 400. Be 400 be close to 500. But usually you go in the store, it will give you a discount, 20% or 25%. You can get it as low as 380, 360. Let's say 380
Yeah.
You go on Carousel, which is a second-hand market.
Yeah, you go on Joata 5 and I'll sell it for $280.
Yeah, this is the range that these watches stand. You know what I mean? Is almost 50% from their retail. That's why if you don't mind, you might as well. Like we mentioned 379, right? You mentioned that our budget is 379. You can get a used Seiko Turtle.
Okay, it's used, but it's well used.
Stainless
like
steel.
new.
Wait, stainless steel. Features a unidirectional bezel. I'll just put the picture. Then unidirectional bezel. 4R35 movement, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
436.
36 4R36 movement with lumed hands.
Yeah.
How many? 200 meters is it? 200 meter water resistance.
Yeah, 200 meters.
What else can you complain for? What else can you say?
Yeah.
Because if you're not looking for, as in, if you want to look for something else outside of the Seiko 5 catalog, for that price point, the only way to go is used market really.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, there's really not much because it's hard. It's really really hard. Like especially with Seiko now being like Seiko kind of want to elevate its status, you know what I mean? Because last time Seiko is this super affordable. You can get it at like $90, 120, 130. I mean, never heard before prices. You can't even find it like now.
Yeah.
But then everything is going up really. Like last time, you know, SKX is how much really on Carousel?
Last time 200 maybe.
Less, I think, even less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 120 you can find, 120, 130 you can find an SKX used. Now because it's discontinued now, obviously giving it that. You can find for 280 is a steal really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why used market is the way to go. And that's the way that we find a lot of our watches. And not because we are rich or what.
Yeah. My Solar Diver was a second-hand watch. My this Seiko Turtle is also a second-hand watch.
Yeah. Then I think the talking about stigma of whatever, right? I think the biggest thing that people have to destigmatize is getting used watches. But of course you have to check lah. You have to check whether it's new. You know, and then all that. But usually it's okay one lah. Usually it's okay one. Just don't be stupid about it lah.
Yeah. Try not to make mistakes, like careless mistakes, like not checking properly or stuff like that. But I think as with everybody, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes with buying stuff also. So don't be afraid of. Yeah.
Okay. Then I think to end off the episode, right? If you want us to recommend you a specific watch, you write down your budget, what kind of watches you are looking for. Like for example, say diver, chronograph, like a field watch. What else?
Dress
watch. What else? Maybe what color you want it in? What color down?
Strap or bracelet.
Strap or bracelet. And then when you leave it in the comments, we'll find a watch for you. We'll reply to your comment. Okay?
Yeah.
So
actually, speaking of Casio, right? Yesterday I went to my mall opposite. Then there's a watch shop. But I wanted to buy a watch for NS. So I saw I want to buy F91W, which is a very famous watch. But what you realize is that usually F91W is blue color, right? Like there's a blue ring. Right. But the one that I saw, right, is the one with green color ring. Like this. And it's cost $21. Later we go and buy. Later we go buy.
Why?
Because honestly I saw it, I was like wow. It's like wow, it's like so different. Like I don't want to buy a regular old F91W.
Okay.
So it's nice, right?
No one will know.
I will know lah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. After this,
can
go and buy.
Can.
Yeah.
So I think
I'm famished.
Yeah. So I
you want to go eat some tacos and quesadillas, so you want to wrap things up?
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so it's been Nicholas and Joel. Okay, thank you for tuning in to the Stretch Link podcast. Remember to comment down what you want to hear or whatever, and we'll see you. Bye.
See ya.